Hello, and thank you for calling the Auto Glass Helpline. Today we are going to run our first full-length replacement. So we are going beginning to end. The only thing I've done is peeled off a couple of the little pads that they stick on these things. So let's do this. Probably looking at 35 to 45 minutes-ish. Just to give everybody a heads up, since this is a full replacement beginning to end. Give you a bit of a glimpse into the routine here. I'm sure some of you out there will have some input into this. I know a couple that might comment, a couple that might put in their 2 cents, and you are more than welcome to do so. By all means. I welcome criticism as long as it's constructive. Trolls will be dealt with accordingly, either ignored or given snarky comments in return. So feel free to be a smartass as long as you can take it as well as you give it. This one actually came in pretty clean, all things considered. Usually we get them a lot dirtier than this, especially in the area we live. There's a lot of rural around us. So, especially these back windows are usually, could use a leaf blower to clean them off before you try to wipe them down at all. Some people clean their windows at the end. I just do it at the beginning because I'm already over here. If you've been doing this for any amount of time, you know that the less time you can walk back and forth between the car, the less steps, the quicker you can get it done. And that stems from my Safe Light days, when they used to give a bonus for doing a certain number of units per week and keeping your metrics in line. So, as far as I know, they don't do that anymore. They changed that pay structure shortly before I left. Shortly before I left. So, get our WRD Pro 6 setting tool lined up here like normal. This nut with the top of our pillar here lined up with that mark there. Back over here, 90 degrees, and anchor that cup. Give our glass a flip here.
Morning.
Morning. And we're gonna grab a box of paper towels because that other box is gonna run out here shortly. Some of you may be wondering why I'm putting these gloves on to cut this thing loose, clear off this, because I am using a razor blade, and anytime you are using a sharp cutting instrument, you're supposed to be wearing your cut resistant gloves. So I'm trying to get in the habit of that for competition for the Auto Glass Olympics. You can see they're not very clean. Got some spots that are bubbling up there, so we'll give our pinch weld our scrub here. Spray and another wipe down. After you get your scrub done, you want to double check, even after you wipe your pinch, or not your pinch weld, even after you wipe your frit down, because you can wind up with some residue left behind, just some of that dirty residue from the scrub. Because you're removing the dirt, but you can remove a little bit of that frit band as well. So you want to scrub it, not too hard, but hard enough that you're going to get all that contaminant layer out of there. So make sure we got all of our gook off the inside from those pads. Get our primer on here. And these Subarus, because they don't give, I should say don't usually give you a good glue map on the body here, I will usually run my primer line wider and then I shoot the body. So that way I know I'm going to hit my mark. Get to taking some stuff apart here. seat covers in place. Got our steering wheel cover. Make sure we don't drop any tools or primer or anything on there. Dash cover in place. Pull our mirror. Not all of these Subaru mirrors unplug. I have to say it's nice when they do. I don't like having the mirror hang. That's a lot of weight to be hanging off of that one little wire. Even though it is wire and it is strong, still don't like to leave them hanging like that. This is a new one here. This is our fender protectors from Panther Pro Tools. So, giving this guy a shot here. See how it works. It's going to take a little getting used to, I can tell. It'd be a little bit better if these were, instead of the elastic, if they were a webbing, maybe a cinch at the top of them. And if you had a cinch, you could just tighten it. Without having to worry about your length and stretching out that elastic. So, but all that being said, it's a nice little cover. Okay. Number 14 mil and our pig's foot. Set that in here. Put our wipers down there. Grab our ever-present screwdriver here. If any of you are curious what I'm doing under here with my screwdriver, there's a couple of videos I have out there where I address this. I'm basically stretching out that white piece to allow this little knob right here to let go. back. Leave that there. And we're ready to cut out a windshield. We are, however, going to switch gloves. Because any of you that have had one of these fiber lines snap or hang up on something and twang through the glove or through the line and buzz your finger, know that it does not feel good at all. And if you haven't, I recommend you try it first. It won't cut you, but it'll definitely let you know that you don't like it. Alright. Get our orange back QC locked down here. Got semi-fresh line. Only one vehicle on it. Where'd you go? Oh, I dropped it on the ground. Looking for my screwdriver. I dropped it in the engine well. It's alright, I don't need it right now anyway. Because these cut through pretty easy. These Subaru guide pins are not super resilient. Make sure you are on number 1 speed, not number 2 speed. And I know one recommendation was made to me to pop these pillar covers loose to protect them. The only reason I didn't on these is because these are fabric and my gloves have a tendency to have dirt on them and I don't want to get dirt on it, so hence the WRD shield there instead. Walk around the back because it's faster. And don't believe me? Count the steps. There, gonna run this one up here because we're gonna finish our top line first, as usual. Then pull that loose and drop him in there. And just like that, windshield is loose. to grab our cloth, our glass cleaner, and our trimming tools. Pull the molding out of here first to get it out of the way. Sorry for the whiplash there. And then grab our WRD trimming handle with our Stingray blade. And you see this pinch weld is pretty clean. Doesn't require much. Not a lot of dirt in here, just some of the leftover adhesive strip from peeling the molding out of there. So this person actually keeps their car relatively clean. Normally what you do is, if these were dirty, you would spray this and clean this before trimming it. So, like I said, this one isn't quite so bad, so you can see a pin in there, so we're gonna look inside here, and sure enough, there's our pin. I want to make sure you take those out, because if you don't, the customer will hear that rattle, and then you'll have a warranty on you, because they'll come back and well, it didn't rattle before you changed my windshield. So always make sure, if you cut those pins off, that you pull them out. So you don't have an upset customer. So this guy here, that little brush. And we are going to be shooting the body on this, so I am not too horribly concerned. Always find pins up here. Pins, parking receipts, all kinds of stuff. I'll throw that on the seat for the moment and grab it later. I'm going to be shooting the body on this, so I'm not super duper concerned about making sure that this whole pinch weld is clean, simply because I will be, come on, get out of there. There we go. Simply because I will be shooting the body instead of the glass. Shooting the body, I can make sure that my bead is right on my old bead, and just make sure that's all clean there. Whereas if I was shooting the glass, there'll still be a little bit of offset from time to time, where you might miss that glue line, that original bead. So if you're shooting the body, that's less of an issue. Still want to make sure we don't have any dirt on it though. Let's get our tools picked up here. And our molding. Grab our primer stick. That should still have a little left in it. We got a spot right here that pulled away. Nope. Tried out. It's alright. Easy fix. Give these a little dab where the glue pulled away from the body. A little spot right there. right there. And you can see that Stingray blade really does a great job of keeping you from scratching the body up in these little coves here where the pinch weld rolls up to the roof. Less scratches, less primer. Less primer, less time waiting, and less chance for a returning rusty vehicle. So those Stingray blades definitely pay for themselves. I'll chase that later. Okay, that's unusual. Might be time to replace that cup or pump. Let's see, where's my ring at? Right there. That. All right. Give this a quick dry set. Perfect. And then all I got to do is look and see where my original ring is. Push that up. And re-anchor it there. I can leave that on there. Double check.
Yeah, you come to get a windshield.
Good.
Cadillac is actually filling inside the top right now. Go down, turn around, whatever works.
Right. Get our urethane set here.
Need a bigger parking lot.
Blow out the first little bit so we don't wind up with any boogers, hopefully. Clean that off. Juke body. Make sure. You get back down there. Make sure our seams are all good. So I put my tape on before I set my glass, only because when I worked for the other guys, I had a real problem with tape residue on the windshield, especially on hot days. So rather than let the tape sit on the glass and bake in the sun while I was working on the vehicle, I would always put the tape on last, because almost always pulling the tape before you leave. The less time the tape is on the glass, the less issue you have with tape residue. Tape there. This place is a wind tunnel. Tape there. Pull that guy. Now, to check our reveals before we pull our other cups. Make sure our reveals are good. Jump in here, put our mirror back on. Cups. Cups back. Set those there for now. Hang that back up. Pull that guy now. I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Alright, let's put the rest of this back together. And another thing I realize by doing this, I'm giving away a lot of what I do prior to the competition. That being said, you will only do as well as you are prepared to do. So I'm not revealing anything to anybody that isn't available to them already. It just comes down to your preparedness. So that being said, we compete on the floor. The better everybody else does, the better we all look. And I would hope that everybody would want to look as good as possible. Because there's a lot of people out there that give glass guys a bad name because they're out there just to make a buck and sadly don't give a shit about the customer's car or their safety. And that's part of what these videos are for, and part of what the Auto Glass Olympics are for, is to prove that we take our customers' safety seriously. We want to do a quality job, but we also want to make sure that our customers are safe out there. So again, we compete on the floor, and you will only do as well as you are prepared to do. So I hope if you're going to be there that you are preparing. This one. Two. Right. Double check, make sure my mirror is on. Alright guys, that is beginning to end windshield replacement on a 22 Subaru. See y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.